So good morning. Thank you for joining. My name's Stuart Llewellyn. I am Director of E-commerce here at BayWa r.e Solar Systems. And this morning, I'm going to try and run through some features of the Webstore, some tips and tricks that maybe you weren't aware of, hopefully. There might be some stuff which you do, but hopefully we'll try and cover, and you'll be able to take away something today that you weren't aware of before. I'm trying to avoid the obvious things. You know, at the end of the day, it's a store. We all know how stores work for the most part. So hopefully everybody can see my screen now. Just on the main landing page, first thing to note is that I am logged in to the store already, but I'm just logged in as a dummy customer. So please, if you see any pricing and things like that, please ignore it. It's not going to be necessarily relevant to any of yourselves. It's just there for display purposes. First thing I want to just cover is availability. So it's one of the key parts of the information that we show on the store. And we are, I think, fairly unique as a distributor in that we show our availability across multiple warehouses. In fact, all of our different warehouse locations. Not only that, we show availability as of what we have available right now, and we've also show availability of what we're going to have next. So just to clarify those two things in a little bit more detail, whatever quantity that you see related to a specific warehouse in the now column, that is product which is available to order. So for example, if you've been working with your sales rep and maybe have got some product which has been on hold, allocated for you, reserved as part of your planning and your forecasting, that's not rolled up in that available number. This is quantity which is available for new orders as of right now. The key part to it also to always keep in mind is that quantity that you see on the screen right now is real time. That is exactly what we see on our screens when we look into the back office system. Our web store is actually part, essentially, of our back office system. It's just a module which sits on the top. It works off exactly the same database. It pulls live data. Lots of e-commerce sites, they sort of sit separately to the main back-end system, and they have their own database which gets updated periodically, maybe every 15 minutes, every half an hour, maybe even longer than that. So quantities that you might see on the screen aren't necessarily live. They're not real time always in many instances. For example, so if I was to filter the search and just knock it down to show LG product, as this is happening and the product and the new set of items is displaying, it's actually updating the availability again. It's querying the server and coming back, the database, and coming back with new values. Same thing goes with the next column as well. So for example, when you're looking at the next quantities, these are available quantities. So, which might seem a bit strange. How can you say what's available out of future? So we don't even have this product yet, but our system is smart enough to be able to be looking at the orders that we have in our system and be able to subtract those quantities from the product which is coming in. So for the most part, a container of LG modules has got, from memory, 650 panels in it. So you can see, for example, out of for these 370 N1K panels, of the 425 which are due in next month into Dallas, sorry, the 425 which are available, that's 425 out of that container of 650. So hopefully that makes sense. Next thing I want to touch on is related to the availability, and it's our PV stocking strategy view, which is pretty unique to us. It is a custom piece of functionality that we created in-house. We have developers, software developers in-house that thankfully, unfortunately, are able to create these things, and that it does provide some extra value and visibility into the future of our plans for stocking various products. At the moment, we only have it available for panels, but in the future, we may well roll that out to other product groups as well. I just wanted to be very clear about the markings, but obviously we've got three different colors for three different types of product. Active product, pretty self-explanatory. That's current product, which is, and essentially if it's active, we are planning to be ordering more. That is by definition what that really means. Future stocking, obvious. We don't have the product. We've not actually received any of that SKU in at any point before now. What you will also notice, for example, if we look at the 370N1K down here, we can see that the bar is yellow, showing future stocking for March and April, but then turns green in May. And May is when we are going to be receiving our first product for that SKU. I can use this little green arrow to push down and actually show the detail of what we've got. And you can see by the due dates, all of these are coming in next month in May. So where you see the where it turns green, that is going to be the point at which we're going to be receiving our first purchase order for that product. Red can be a bit alarming because it says end stocking, but shouldn't really be necessarily the case, because it doesn't mean that we don't have product available. So for example, if I go to, say, the 340N1K here, and I click the down arrow to actually show what product we've got available, yeah, we're not going to be ordering any more. And that is really what end stocking means. It means that once the current inventory has gone, we will not be placing any more purchase orders for that product. So that's our stocking strategy, BayWa's stocking strategy. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's an end-of-life product with the manufacturer. It probably is, because the two things are generally coincide together, but there could be some overlap there. So it's always worth checking and making sure you know what product we have got available, even if it says end stocking, so that you can sort of plan if you need to move over from one product to another. And just on that kind of subject, one useful thing you can do is to narrow down the search. For example, if you want to look at a very specific range of products. So within the LG, if I want to look at just black backsheet product, maybe just the back content, so the Q1K product. And in this particular instance, I can see that the 360s they've got end stocking, and we've only got very few of those left. The 380s, yeah, we've got some of those coming in. Well, actually, the 380s we will have already received because it's green for active stocking. We just don't have any currently available, and we've only got a small amount which are going to be available out of the next the next order coming in. And so yeah, then we've got the 385s where we've got more available, but clearly that Q1K SKU is actually quite a constrained item, as I'm sure you're probably aware of some of the issues that there are currently with LG. So next thing I wanted to touch on, which is the search. So the search bar at the top is really quite powerful. It looks at not just the item names of the products, it looks at the item descriptions, the keywords within those. It looks at a number of different things. The manufacturer's part number, which is different to the BayWa part number. And you can search for any of these things, and it will give you the right result almost every time. For example, let me try one with Energy Hub. So as you probably know, with the SolarEdge SKUs, they can be particularly tricky to locate the correct item that you're looking for. So many different models, different SKU numbers. But if we just search for Energy Hub, the three inverters here that are showing are the main three Energy Hub inverters. And of course, we've got the backup interfaces above those. So you can quickly and easily get to the product you want through the search, rather than necessarily having to scroll through the product pages, through the manufacturer pages, or go through the inverters directly and try and locate the product that you're looking for. We've also added quite recently the price and the available quantity to this to make it a little bit simpler if you're looking for a particular SKU, and or there is potentially more than one SKU available that you could use to see the one which is the best value, which we've got the product available for. Not only is this search available at the top and of the page, and that's available on every single page that you go to, that the search is there. It's also available if you were to go to the cart, for example. So you can go directly to the cart even without adding any product in from the product pages, and you can add everything that you need directly from here. So I could do the same search, and it gives me the same results, and I can quickly add those items to my cart without having to go through the product pages, which could be, if you know pretty much what you're looking for, this could be quite a straightforward and simple, more efficient way of actually getting stuff to the cart than going through the product pages, to be honest. There is one other place where you can actually find the search on the Create a Quote page, which I'm not sure how many of you actually have used this, creating your own quotes online. It's becoming really quite popular with customers. Roughly speaking, a third of all quotes, possibly even 40% now, are created by customers themselves. It's just so much more quick and convenient and easy for people to do it. Again, you can just do everything through the same search bar, same results, quickly add those items to your quote in the same way that you were doing to the cart. If I just create that quote, I'll come back to it in a very short while, just to show you how we can actually convert that quote into a sales order. So let me just create that and pop that, and we'll come back and see where you can see that, and you can convert that into an order. One other quite neat feature with the search in general is being able to search for obscure manufacturers' part numbers. A lot of the time, our BayWa part number will match very closely to the manufacturer's part number. So for example, just looking at this SolarEdge SKU here, that's the highlighted bit. Part of the SKU name there is the main manufacturer's part number. I think it's just this hyphen here, which is maybe the difference between SolarEdge and our own. But if you were, say, looking for a Fronius part number, the Fronius part numbers are just numbers separated with periods. So for example, I've got one here, which I'll just use as a complete example. So if all you had available to you was a manufacturer's part number, and as you can see, that is pretty obscure. Not many people are going to know what that is off the top of their heads. And if I go to the top result, as it comes up in the search listings, I can go down and see here that same part number listed there. So again, another quick way to get exactly straight to the product that you're looking for. Just while I'm here, I will point out the data sheet, installation manual, and warranty guide. Not sure, it's always obvious that this is here because you do have to scroll down the page a little to get it. But these are all up to date. We're kept up to date by our product managers, and you can just click straight on those. You can download it as you will. And they are all also kept available. We do have this archive data sheets and info section of the store, which products get put in there when they are end of life. We've sold through all our inventory. We don't have any left. And just to continue to make those data sheets and installation guides available for customers. If you're looking for maybe an older product between 6 and 12 months old that maybe you've bought from us in the past, you may be quite likely will be able to find that literature in that section there. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to the product pages now, and actually let me go to the SolarEdge page, because this is, as we were mentioning earlier on, some of the SolarEdge SKUs are particularly difficult to identify just by their product names, or certainly our BayWa product names. So one thing we have done is add this little hover over, this tooltip, just to the right-hand side of each of the product names. And hovering on that will display the product description. So you can just hover on those, see which product it actually is, to hopefully be able to quickly identify the one that you're looking for without having to click into the product to get that information. Okay, so I think that's sort of like the highlights from that you might not have seen too much about from the product pages. I'm now going to head over to the My Account section. And again, focusing on quick ways to be able to find product which you've previously ordered and maybe want to order again. We do have this reorder items section under the orders and quotes, which you can click on. And this will have, and you can filter it to show up to the last 180 days worth of product that you have previously ordered. It will show them all here. This is a dummy account, so there's relatively few products actually showing. And you can quickly add items to the cart, changing the quantities first. It will show you the last time you previously purchased that date, that product. You can change the order in which that it displays that. And literally just at a click of a button, get that product straight into the cart. As we got the quotes underneath the reorder items, I'm going to come back to that quote which I created just a few moments ago, and we can see it listed here. So as soon as you create that, any quote, it will show up in this My Account section. Clicking on the quote, you'll see that we have this review and place order button. So you can create a quote and be able to quickly go straight to convert it. Quite often what happens in practice is that customers create their quotes. Their sales rep will add on the freight charges, assuming that there are any, and that can happen very quickly. I've seen it happen, within minutes in some instances. That will automatically and immediately update in the My Account section. So when you're viewing that quote, you'll see that your account manager has added that freight, and then you can just place the order for it as and when you're ready for. It's very quick and simple to do. You can change any ship date if you'd previously put one on the quote to be whatever you need it to be. It'll tell you if there's any payment which is going to be needed before that product is going to ship to you. Put in your reference number, whatever you want that to be. We also have a relatively new feature which is available in the checkout as well, which is the ability to attach a file to your order. If you have a purchase order maybe that you want to keep attached with to your web order, you can put it in here. If there is maybe a bill of lading, maybe a packing slip, if it's going direct, the order's going direct to one of your customers, things like that, you can attach that and put it in here, and that will live in our system with the order, and we can do with it whatever you want. For example, in this order notes section just underneath, if you have any special instructions to do with that file, you can add it in there, or if you've got any other instructions to do with the order, you can put those in as well. Okay, I won't place the order at this point, just to make sure that you're aware that it's there. Okay, I don't have any examples in this dummy system, but I just want to quickly point out, if I go to the purchase history, that any tracking Basically, what happens is when an order gets dispatched from our warehouse, and as soon as any tracking information is available for the delivery of that order, it gets imported into our system. As soon as that happens, that tracking will end up in this track items column. Like I say, that as this is a dummy account, there isn't any live data there. But if you weren't aware that is where you can find it. A couple of things just to point out as far as information on orders. So if you click into any purchase order, it will show you the ship date, your reference number. If there's a file which has been uploaded that you uploaded as part of placing that order online, and it'll also show you the fulfillment warehouse that order is going to be sent from. So if there's any doubts, any concerns as to when and where that order is going to get shipped from, you can come online and you can see this for yourself. One other point, just to be very clear, is that the information that you see on our store in your My Account section is not just related to orders which are placed online. It is every single order in our system, our entire back office system. So your account manager can place an order for you and you'll see it come up here. You'll see all the same information regardless of whether it was yourself that did it or your account manager. And again, all this information is real time. So if your account manager was to make a change to anything, maybe change a delivery address or change a quantity on an order on your behalf, because you can't make those kind of edits through the store, you'll see those updated immediately when you come to view it here. Just going to quickly mention about product lists. A product list is just a custom list of items that you can put together, and they could be items that you purchase together frequently. So in this case, I've just put together a dummy parts list of Unirack items to include fixings, cable management, clamps, and rail. Assuming those were the kind of items that you always tend to buy together, you can, in one couple of literally clicks, be able to add all those items to the cart in one hit without having to search around for those individual items. Worth keeping in mind, if there are any particular scenarios that you might have where clusters of items, you're always going to buy them together, the SKU is not going to change too often, create a parts list. It's quite a simple thing to do, and then to be able to add them to your cart. Okay, let's go through these in order. So your account balance with the dummy account doesn't really have anything to show, but you can see exactly what you've got available, how much you've spent in relation to your credit terms. I'm sure most of you are very familiar with the invoices and being able to pay your invoices online. Literally, you can just select the invoices you want and go to make a payment. But the one thing I did want to come to, if you hadn't really had a look too much into this, is the transaction history, because this will show you every single transaction of every type that we have in our back-end system. So you can filter here by the different types of records. So this will be every credit, every payment, every deposit, every invoice. So if you're looking for just specifically for any credit maybe which has been applied to your account in relation to a return or something like that, you can come here and you can quickly find it because you can filter just by the credits. And I know many of you may have many transactions in your transaction history, but being able to filter to just the specific type of record that you're looking for is a very quick and effective way of being able to locate it. Another quick thing which might be useful, this is actually in the browser, this isn't part of the web store, but there is this function in virtually all browsers. There's find in this page. It's called something different in Chrome. I'm actually in Firefox at the moment. But if you have a number of, say you're looking for a specific transaction and you've got a reference number for it, if you were to, so if I just come out of that and I just put in the it will highlight the particular transaction. So if you've got a long list of transactions that you're looking at, but you're only trying to get to a very specific one, and you know a reference for it, using this browser feature is quite a quick and easy way to get to that. Print a statement. Yeah, there's no need to be able to have to go through to your account manager or to ask our accounting department if you want to get hold of a statement of your account. You can put in any dates here, and it will consolidate that for you, and you can either download it as a PDF or get that emailed directly to you. And just to highlight these links on the left-hand side for contact us. Now, this is it's not exactly live chat, because the reply isn't, I would say, it's not instant, but we do get back to customers very quickly when they use this feature. It comes into a shared mailbox. It doesn't necessarily go directly to your rep, but it gets forwarded to them. So we've got many sets of eyes looking at the mailbox where these messages come in. So we do forward them on very quickly. And all you literally have to do is put in your message. There's nothing else that you need to do with it. Because you're logged in already to be able to use this feature, we know who you are. So all those details come through to us, and we can forward them straight on. So it is a quick way to be able to get hold of your sales rep if you need to. And that pretty much concludes the content that I was going to share with you today. Do you have any questions at all? Can you search the portal for a PO number or a sales order number? Right, okay. You can't search the portal using the search bar at the top here, but if you were, say, in your purchase history, you could, for example, use the Find in this page feature in the browser to be able to look for it. You can't search directly for by reference number, so your PO number. You can change the sort order to be by ship date, the sales order number. Oh, actually, we have got the sort by PO number. So you could put your reference number into, so that will sort it by alphabetical order one way or the other, and you can change the sort order using this box here. Yes, but you can't search directly. If you've got, I know some companies tend to use numerical reference numbers. That's probably a lot more easy to find from a sort order than it is if it's more of just a free text. But yeah, that's about as close as we can get on that one, I'm afraid. Okay, next one. Do we work with our rep to get a username and password for the store? Yes, you can do, absolutely. You can also use there is a link at the bottom of the page to register for an account here. If you click on that link, that will take you to the register page, and yeah, just fill in those details. We'll get back to you very quickly. But yeah, by all means, feel free to reach out to your account manager as well. Okay, I would like to be able to stay logged in. Okay, this is it has been a bit of a bone of contention for a while, the fact that our store does log folks out after 20 minutes of inactivity. But it is a safety feature. It is a security feature of our store. And a bit like online banking, there is a similarity in the types of sensitivity of transactions which are going on here, and just the quantities of credit and purchases which are going on. To not have some kind of safety feature that logs you out, I think would be, yeah, possibly a bit. It would not be good. I think it's a necessary thing. I do fully get that it's a little bit inconvenient and a bit annoying. One thing which we have just recently added in the last few weeks is if you are on a page and at the point where it's getting close in the last 30 seconds before you get logged out, a window now pops up on the screen to say, do you want to stay logged in or do you want to log out? So you will get the opportunity to stay logged in by clicking the stay logged in button, rather than it just logging you out without any warning. So that's the sort of, probably right now, the closest we can get to keeping you logged in. But yeah, I just would reiterate that it is a safety feature, but I do get it. I do get it. If I'm logged out, I'm looking at an item. That shouldn't be the case anymore, because, like I say, you get, yeah. So if you're on the page looking at the item and you get to that 20 minutes of inactivity, the window will pop up and you have the option then to click the button to stay logged in. If you do get if it does log you out, and you don't catch it in time and you have to log in again, unfortunately, because of the way that the cookies work behind the scenes, it can't remember what page you were on last before you got logged out. That kind of information would, even if it was available, would get wiped out when the session finishes, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I understand it's a little bit inconvenient, but hopefully, with the window that pops up now, there's a great opportunity to be able to catch it before it does log you out. Okay, well, if there aren't any more questions, I would just like to say thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you. I hope it's been of some use, and you've maybe, even if you've only taken away one or two small details which you didn't know before, or are going to help you in the future. Yeah, I'm very pleased that you do. Thank you very much. Take care and enjoy the rest of your week.